Welcome back to the SPO Miken Elimination Tournament weekend here at Slow Pitch City. As you can see, folks, even if they're not playing, Mark, they're still toughing it out here with a little bit of inclement weather.
Well, you don't get an opportunity very often to see this quality of play. So these people, you know, some of these teams are from the lower levels. There's a men's C tournament going on the other side of the park, and they're here trying to watch, learn some tips from the best.
Good job. One ball, 2 strikes.
Miken here. Chop over to the left-hand side. That one a bit tough to get to. Miken with a chopper, but it still counts as a single here.
Now that shortstop's deep in the hole there, almost on the grass. That's a difficult play when the ball's hanging that long. You see they've replaced the batter with a pinch runner, which is another rule in slow pitch. You're allowed to use up to 3 courtesy runners in any game.
Trust me, as usually the heavier of fellows on my teams, I take no offense to times when my team says, Ryan, you want a runner? Sure.
I
call them courtesy runners. They're very courteous.
Hey, I love it here. Okay, zone 5, here, go get it. There you go.
As that one will go for a walk. So a free base here. The Mets have 2 on to start the 5th.
Home plate umpire does a great job of calling out that illegal pitch. One of the challenges of softball, even though he's pitching 55 feet away and it is coming in relatively slow, when the ball's pitched at 4 or 5 feet high, it comes in very quickly and it's halfway to you. Most umpires are just realizing that pitch is illegal, and by the time it comes out of their mouth, it's already the batter's in mid-swing. So he was really quick to spit out illegal. I've noticed that a few times. It's come out of his mouth very quickly in the pitch, which really helps the batters. It's a big bonus.
Well, and the other thing for the batters and even the infielders as well is there'll be, I know I've heard quite a few times of guys maybe saying to the umpire, come on, a little quicker.
Yeah, it's a real disadvantage to the batter if he doesn't say it early.
Chopper to the left-hand side. 2 onto 1 double play. So just as quickly as there's 2 runners on base for the Mets with no outs, now they're going to have a man at third with 2 out.
That's a really momentum. It's a big momentum killer. You really want to stay in this game. You have to answer with some runs now, and to get the first batter on, and the second batter follows up with a double play in this game is difficult when you're playing the Orioles.
Outside pitch there.
Right there. Another 3 inches.
That one's in and that one's high. Up to center field, but staying in the park. And it's caught for the 3rd out here in the inning. So it looked like the start of a promising inning there for the Mets went by the wayside, especially on the double play.
But one of the surprising things too about the Mets today is, in getting to this game so far in their tournament, they've been victorious. So they've been playing well, and to get here and not score, and to not hit the ball well as they've been challenged so far, gosh, it's pretty demoralizing, because what happens now is if they lose this game to the Orioles, they probably will have 7 more games to get back to the finals. And it's a long route to win this tournament.
Well, and that's the thing, of those maybe 7 games, if you are in the losing position, there's what, 4 in a row almost on Sunday morning / afternoon you have to go through. So it's not a matter of you get 2 or 3 today and maybe 2 or 3 tomorrow. You get maybe one more game today, and then you really got to go through the ringer tomorrow afternoon.
Well, it'll be interesting. They may play 2 or 3 today, but they'll definitely have a minimum of 4 or 5 tomorrow, and it'll start early. They'll be at the park bright and early. Some of the guys will be here by 7 a.m. and they're just going to have to stay. They'll have time to get a drink, have a bite to eat, go to the washroom, and get the glove right back on because the next game starts. That's how it works.
Some guys don't mind it that way, though. I know the hour-and-a-half break in between games sometimes can get to you.
Well, that's why you came, isn't it, to play baseball?
How many times I've played in tournaments and you get, all right, we play back-to-backs. All right, that's fine.
Well,
you got a 2-hour break. What do we do with that?
Yeah, the 2-hour break. You get bored.
Rob Sitch here up to start this bottom of the 5th inning. 8-0 for the Orioles. Oh. That was a tough spot. Sitch already was, he was locked and ready to go.
And that was a great pitch right on the front corner. If you've watched, when you watch the strikes, there are very few pitches that land right in the middle of that mat. They are all at the front, the back, and on the outsides.
Big hit here. Out to center field. And a solo shot here for Sitch. Purple bat, they call him Purple Rain apparently.
Appropriately. Yeah, it's an opportunity where, you know, the Orioles have home runs to use. And even hitting solo home runs, again, it's more runs on the board. The Mets have been struggling with the bat. Just make a lead that seems insurmountable to them. That's the goal.
I believe that'll be their 4th of the game so far, so still 3 remaining here with 2 more innings possibly after this. And that one will float out here as well, so back-to-back solo shots. 2 more runs go up on the board for the Mets, so they're up to the double digits now with the 10th run, but only 2 more home runs left to go.
And again, Ryan, this is an opportunity where you see the change in the swing, and it truly is. They see the opportunity. Let's just score some quick runs, even if it is on solo home runs, because the Mets, they can feel the coffin shutting on this.
Another big shot and another solo home run, so back to back to back. But as you mentioned, Mark, might not be looking negatively upon that because you're widening that gap even further.
Well, when you have a team that hasn't scored a run yet, and a solo home run is still 1 more run than they've scored the entire game, then it's adding up on double digits. You know, you can see, just look by the body postures, the facial expressions, the shrugging and the heads down for the Mets. It seems insurmountable to them.
Kyle Nechtel here, outside pitch, floating back in, but just doesn't catch the corner. Ooh. Nice pitch there. Nechtel giving I don't know if that was more of a time or a sorry for walking out of the box before the call on the pitch.
Again, that ball curved right in on the front corner in the last 3 feet.
Beautiful pitch there by Justin Pinnell. That one will go for an illegal pitch, so Nechtel draws the walk.
And to Pinnell's credit, you know, despite the fact that he's just given up back-to-back home runs, but you look at the Orioles, it has been a struggle for them to score. They've really had to manufacture runs in the last couple innings, and credit to the pitcher, he's not giving them pitches over the middle of the heart of that mat. He's throwing it in the front corner, back corner. He's throwing it with a curve that starts outside on those right-handed batters and is just catching the front and the outside corner of the plate. And then to the left-handed batters, it's tailing away from them. He really has done a solid job here.
How many times have we seen guys you saw a perfect example there with Nechtel. He thought the pitch that was called a second strike was the 4th ball, but it literally just catches the outside of the plate.
Yeah. And Kyle knows the strike zone. He knows where that mat is. He knows every pitch, and even he was surprised by the way that came back down inside and landed on the mat.
James Kelly comes in, and that one catches the plate. So we're 11-0 here for the Orioles in the bottom of the 5th. Still not out. That one's high. Spot there where just trying to mix the eye lines a little bit, maybe.
Trying to get him to swing at something he doesn't want to swing at. But again, the umpire is really on top of things, calling illegal pitches very quickly. It takes the pressure off the batter.
James Kelly, big shot here, left field side. And good night baseball. So that'll be the 4th home run here in the inning for the Orioles. And it will widen to a 13-0 lead. And that will bring out handshakes in a quick way here, Mark.
That's the ball game. So they've used their home runs to create a mercy. It's a 12-run mercy after 5. They surpassed 12 runs. So the game is over.
They will continue a very impressive offensive showing, does the Orioles. We will take a quick break and wrap it up next here on Rogers TV.